Hey sewing friends, so tonight the Poly Sew Spotlight is shining down on the Jennifer Lauren Handmade Bronte top. So this is kind of a little video series I thought I would start and just do a couple times a year, every time I sew a pattern that is new to me. And so what I thought, I'd just review it, give you my thoughts, let you know what you get when you purchase the pattern. And so I'm trying to develop a template that'll be the same with each pattern review that I get. So I can keep everything consistent and then gather the information that I feel is important and that you feel is important. So if I miss something in this review, let me know in the comments and I can start incorporating that into other pattern reviews or pattern spotlights that I plan on doing. But as I said, this is the Jennifer Lauren Handmade Bronte top. It is a knit top with a lapped shoulder and neckline detail, which that is what originally drew me to this pattern, because let's face it, there are tons of t-shirt patterns out there, but the shoulder detail on this I thought looked really cute, and it's that specifically what drew me to buy this pattern. It comes PDF or digital only, so you cannot buy a paper version. You're gonna have to print it out, tape it together, print it out, And the price of the pattern was $14.50. And the only option you get is to make it with the pattern is to make it with a short sleeve or a long sleeve. And I'll tell you right now, I don't consider that a different view or a different option or a different variation, because anybody can really shorten or lengthen a sleeve. So for the $14.50, I think you get just one t-shirt pattern. Just my opinion. The size range is somewhat inclusive. I think it's a US size 6 to a 14, with a bust from a 31 inches to 49, waist from 24 inches to 42 inches, and hips from a 35 inch to 53. And those are the pattern measurements, not the finished garment measurements. So if you're looking at what size to go, you'd be looking at these numbers here. Does it offer a full bust option? Nope, just one straight pattern size. And the type of fabric suggested is medium to heavyweight knit with at least 40% stretch. And then it has a 3-inch seam allowance. And then the amount of fabric I needed for my size, which was a size 18 with long sleeves, was 1.86 yards of fabric. So let me go ahead and tell you about my experience with the Jennifer Lauren Handmade Bronte top. So I chose a size 18, and I did that based on the information on the pattern. If I went by my full bust or my high bust measurement, it would actually have me at a size 14, because my high bust is 39 inches. It measures at 39 inches now, and my full bust measures at 43. And that's 4-inch difference, puts me at a D cup. The pattern does say that there is negative ease in the bust, and I just, I have to get over these numbers, the sizes. I've talked about this before, how I'm just sort of brainwashed. But I kept thinking, man, that's kind of a big full bust adjustment, going from a size 14. And because it had negative ease, and then I would have to grade out to like an 18. Actually, if I went exactly by the pattern envelope, I would grade out to a 20 at the waist and then an 18 at the hips. So I decided to go to a straight size full 18. Didn't work out. Now I made 2 tops for my daughter, and I based her size on her high bust measurement as well, and I made hers in a size 10. The fabric I used for mine was a Lady McElroy cotton jersey, and it was, barely into the mid-weight. I think it was 190 grams per square meter. It was a cotton lycra, 95% cotton, 5% lycra. And the 2 I made for my daughter was a cotton jersey as well, but they were both art gallery fabrics. So let me talk about the fitting. When you look at the way the model, I guess, on the website is, you can really see that shoulder detail, how the fabric just, grabs the shoulder and comes around just like any other top or t-shirt that we made. Both on my daughter and myself, I couldn't get that look. it felt like it was very big in the high bust and in the shoulders, and it just didn't have that same curve, and it just felt very loose. And I'm not sure why. I'm thinking maybe I just used a size that was too big in the upper bust, but yeah, I couldn't get the shoulder detail to work. In fact, both my daughters and mine sort of fit more like a boat neck rather than the scoop neck that the model has. Now, here's some pictures of my daughter, and you can kind of see what I mean when I talk about that neck and that shoulder detail. It just seems very wide. You can see her bra straps. I suppose I could pull the shoulder lap and the underneath front lap together and maybe tack it down to get more of that effect. And maybe I should just try sizing down. I'm really not sure. Now what I'll do with mine is I'll go ahead and explain where I'll put on the shirt that I made, but I do have to warn you, it's very tight in the bust. It is not PG-13. So hang on and let me give you my thoughts on the Bronte top that I made for myself. Okay, so I'm going to put my hair up in a ponytail so you can see more of this shoulder detail. And I might have to move you around some, sorry. But as you can see, I'm just not really getting, first of all, I don't feel that I have the scoop neck that the model had. And I think that my shoulder detail fits a little bit better than my daughter's, but you know, this just feels very big. This, I guess, would be considered the upper chest. Let me show you the sleeve pattern that was for my daughter, although mine was not much bigger. I remember cutting out the pattern or laying out the pattern to trace it, thinking, wow, that's a really narrow sleeve. So here's hers. It's very long. Here's the tip. Okay. Very long and I think very narrow. And if I were to make this again, I would definitely need or want a full bicep adjustment. Very tight in the chest, okay? Very tight in the arms. But again, I'm not getting the shoulder detail that I want. I think on the model, hers comes up a little bit higher like this, I think. And this comes down a little bit so that you're able to get 3 buttons, you know, one here, 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 and here, I think. I can't really tell. So I think I have, if I were to bring this up on both sides to give me sort of that scoop neck that she had, see, I think it's just a little bit too big. But as you can see, it's very, very tight in the bust. And in the back, you can see it's very tight too. Now, it doesn't really feel bad. That's probably how most of my t-shirts look, although it is a snug fit. It is a snug fit, so it does sort of cling to the body. That's why I did that's why I chose an 18. And so I'm going to go ahead and try and move the camera out so you can sort of see more of a full body shot. So hang on just a moment. So here's the full body. And as I said, this feels more like a boat neck. I think that I would want it more to come in here. Very tight on the bust. And down here, as you can see, it's a very snug fitting. And then very tight on the arms. Doesn't look attractive on me at all. So my overall thoughts on the pattern is that I think it's a cute top. It's a very simple top to make, but I just can't figure out the fit. If I were to revisit this again, I guess maybe I would try starting with the size 14 where, you know, where my high bust measurement falls into, and then do a lot of grading out and fixing the sleeves. But to me, for just what should be a simple t-shirt, that seems like an awful lot of adjustments just for a t-shirt. That's my opinion. But I do think that if I could get this neck detail to work, that it really would be a lot of fun, for instance, to make it in let's say a print, and then use the contrasting neckband as a different color. I mean, wouldn't that look beautiful, having this as like a gold or maybe a red as a contrast, sort of like what the model did on the website. And as far as value goes, I don't know that this is really a good value. $14.50 for just one pattern, and it's very, as I said, really 3 main pieces, a front, a back, and a sleeve, and then 2 little neck binding pieces, which really you probably don't even need a pattern for that. You could probably just, you know, do some rectangles and make the binding. You really don't need a pattern piece for the binding, in my opinion. So it is expensive, except that you are getting, if it fits you and you can get the shoulder detail to work, you are getting something nicer than just a regular scoop neck or V-neck tee. Now, would I make it again? I probably will revisit this when I have more time to work on the adjustments, but that's mainly because I've already shelled out the money for the pattern that I like. But I don't, knowing what I know now, and that how much I'm going to have to work and make a couple of toiles, because let's face it, it's kind of expensive to make a toile. Now, I do have some knitfabric.com solid essential jersey knit, which is $8.99 a yard. So I can use some of that as, you know, which is less expensive than, let's say, my Lady McElroy or my art gallery. And I suppose maybe I should have toiled it before, but I just assumed how much fitting could be involved in a basic tee. So I probably will revisit the pattern again, because I've already bought it, and it'll just have to be at a later date when I have a little bit more time. And I guess on the polometer, my husband's in the process of making a polometer. I don't know if it should be called the polymeter or the polometer, because he actually calls me Paul, short for Polly. But on the polymeter, right now I would put this as a pass. Now, I'm still not sure how I'm going to do my polometer or my polymeter. If I'm going to do it on a scale of 1 to 5, on a good, medium, bad, or but for right now, I would just pass on the pattern. As I said, I'm not even going to try it right now because I have too many irons in the fire, and I just need to set this aside when I have time to really think about the adjustments needed to make this shoulder detail work, to make my arms fit, and to make my bust fit. So there you have it. That is my spotlight on the Jennifer Lauren Handmade Bronte top. Let me know what you think of the this format, and if you'd like to see something like this again with other patterns that I make in the future. Just let me know in the comments. So I just want to remind everyone of our Zoom sewing circle this Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to be a part of the sewing circle, just send an email to pollysews22@gmail.com, and I will send you a link to our sewing circle where we share the progress on the projects that we've been making and just overall sewing chit chat. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you all. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.